In this video help, I want to address importing and exporting of data in and out of the application. And I want to point out that normally when you do an import or an export, you use the parent record or the individual record of the individual parent record, if that makes sense. Okay, and basically what that means, like in this screen, I'm in the project drawing subassembly where this is an individual record. And if I want to do an import or an export, I would be normally in the runtime application, where I would go down and say import from file or export to file. And if you click on those, it'll export. Now, one of the things that needs to be clear is you can, in the iPad using FMGO, that application has the ability to export records directly from the iPad to a Excel file, PDF file, or do a database or other kind of export of the data so you can use it in another fashion. That is covered more in detail on the FMGO application and the information and the help on the FMGO application for the iPad or for the iPhone. Now, be aware that I will help people if they want to have basic data imported into their application, especially if it's on the cloud server and you need to populate fields with that kind of information. And then, for example, what I would do is I would take information from you. Say, for example, you had a drawing list in Excel or a tab delimited file. As long as the fields were somewhat matching by the narrative that describes the fields so I know what they are and where they go, I can bring that information into the application by import. Or in some cases, if you already own the application, you want to export it and you need to have me do that for you, I can also do that. But recall, you can still export data out of the iPad using FMGO. You cannot import data into the iPad from FMGO. It does block you in that respect, in that you're actually bringing it up. In most cases, if you're on a cloud server, they do not allow direct imports in mass from the iPad to the server, which you would have to do. And there's a way to do it, and I can explain that to you, but it's going to still require a developer probably to help you out with that. Plus, when you're importing information, you have to be aware that what screen you're in and what screen you're trying to populate. For example, if I'm in the catalog, and this catalog happens to be on another application being the client or customer database, the customer fields need to be present here. But if there's a portal with, say, for example, additional contacts, you would first import all the customers, then you would go to the portal record screen, the individual one, and import that data for the individual portal records for additional people. Now, in this case, this is a specific application where it's kind of unique. It can be done, but the fields may not match up with what is in your current information, and they would have to be hand entered. But the idea is to try to reduce the amount of key punching in order to get information into the system, and I'm happy to try to help people to do that. The other thing that I want to tip you off on is that if you have people that are trying to use your FMGO or your desktop, or you're doing an iPad sync, that information is also available, and I can provide that to you and add assistance if you need it. So you need to contact me individually on those cases and ask for support. Thank you. I hope this is helpful.